Will it be me? Will it be Dan? Or will it be both?
Well, I think James is frozen again. Stuff happens. What's up, Ham Radio? Welcome to Shenanigans. James is he's having camera problems. Sometimes
Do I have audio problems too?
no, you're good now. I got you.
You got my audio?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well,
Just-
we'll just sit and look at my pretty face like it's all frozen and stuff.
There you go.
And we'll thank the Patreons, each and every one of them, because they are
Shenanigans.
absolutely awesome. Got a new Patreon, Kilo Charlie 1 Quebec, Mr. Jason. Welcome to the Patreons. Hopefully you're enjoying your benefits, and if you ain't figured out what they are, shoot me or Dan a message, and we'll help you get squared away. Also, a big shout out to the YouTube members. They are the ones in green or possibly blue if they're administrators. And then the ever-changing board. Thanks very much for the big donation from Kilo 4 Lima, India, as always, and Kilo Echo 4 Eastern Standard Time.
From Kilo 4 Lima, India.
And while we're doing that, we're going to let Dan talk for a minute, and we'll see if I can get some camera.
That's right. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of better like this. We don't have to look at you. It's fine. We're doing. Hello, everybody in the chat. Good to see you, Andy Calley. Always around, brother. Appreciate it. Grandpa Terry, Kilo 8 Golf Hotel. Good to see you. Georgia Parks and Propagation. That is Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscars channel. Y'all go check them out. Mike Roberge, the PP man. Kyle, KC9IMA. What is going on? KO4 FSZ Antennas. And the Duke of Alabama, KC4BB, is in the house. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend. I know it's been hot as hell here. Supposed to be the hottest day. Well, it is actually the hottest day right now that we've had. It's 90. I think I took a picture of my truck thermometer. It was like 102 today. So it was not very good. Curtis, good to see you. Roger. It's Chevette. That's true. Kilo 8 Golf Chevette. I got you. I see your picture now, James, but you're still kind of frozen.
Yeah, I'm still totally frozen. And I have no idea why.
Huh. Maybe turn the heater on.
And the heater? Yeah. It might be cold. You're right.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Other than a frozen video and some shenanigans going on right now. Oh, my brother from another mother is in the chat. Whiskey 0 Delta Alpha November. He says 103 in Nevada. Now, let me ask you, Dan, because you've lived here in Georgia. You moved away from us. We miss you dearly. But is the 103 in Nevada, does it feel different than the 103 here in Georgia? Like, is it more of the difference between the wet heat and the dry heat? The humidity. Brent, good to see you. And for BDW. I imagine Nevada probably feels a little better because it's not like breathing water at 103 degrees. Yeah, I find it better to deal with. Terry says it smells different. Oh, you ain't right. I don't know if James can hear me. I hear him, I think, rustling around a little bit. He might, hey guys, he might be on his hands and knees underneath his desk right now pulling cables. You never know. This could turn into a really good shenanigans. A few choice words later, we hear from James's microphone. Hey, there you are.
I got it. And
Hey.
we'll see how long it lasts. It'll probably freeze in a second. I have no idea what's going on.
It's shenanigans. I mean, you're supposed to have shenanigans, right? So
it's shenanigans, and between OBS and my camera, one of them is like shenanigan me to death right now.
Other than your camera woes, how's your weekend been?
It's been great. I wanted to say one more shout out for off-stream donations.
And then his camera died. At least it paused at the good spot. That is awesome. That is a sticker. He told me backstream, and I can't remember who printed those out for him, and I apologize. But he does have some KE8PZN stickers that he got. And right now he's probably about to throw his laptop across the room.
Do I still have audio?
I got you now. Yes, I do. I hear you.
Okay, well, yeah. Those come from Kilo 4. Oh, ta-ta.
Very nice. Yeah, that right there is perfect. I mean, if you got audio, that's good because that's a good picture. Chris Swider, greetings from Indiana, buddy. How you doing? KE4GOI. Duke, Alabama said you're definitely running QRP right now.
Yeah, like I don't get it. It just keeps up. It'll fire up the camera, and I'll be fine. It won't be frozen, and then all of a sudden it'll say USB device not recognized and cut off.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Let's see. Our buddy Brent says, "Let go of those cables, Clarice."
I mean, that's probably what it is. It probably is. Clarice is haunting the stream because, I told Terry, I said, listen, in case y'all didn't see it in Discord, Terry did post pictures the other night from their date night. Clarice was fixed up.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, listen, she's got to be back by next weekend because she's got to ride back with me to Virginia. She's on her way back to North Carolina next weekend. So,
are you taking Clarice to out west?
No, Clarice is going to Virginia with me next weekend, and then she will return with Michael and Josh to Murphy. Back to haunt them neck of the woods.
So is that so? You have like a shared custody deal or something?
No, there is no shared deal. The haunting is over for West Virginia.
Oh, okay. Are you happy or sad?
Well, I mean, Terry's the one that's going to be sad. Terry's had her the whole time.
Oh, that's true. And they did kind of snuggle up together in the tent, didn't they?
That they did. I mean, and there's definitely some picture proof of that.
Those should probably be posted on our Discord somewhere where Patreon members have access to them.
Absolutely.
That would be a Patreon benefit. You get to see Terry snuggled up with Clarice. Oh, shenanigans. Hopefully everybody's had a good weekend. Bands have been they were pretty good this morning when I woke up after I did some antenna work and got a couple over in France and England and just got another England on 17 meters not long ago. So
I started to spot myself about 4 a.m. when I was getting ready to go to bed and see who would come hunt me.
Not me. I tried to hunt you today. I saw you working Whiskey 8 Lima Oscar Golf on CW, and I barely heard you with some QSB. And I shot my call sign out about 7-8 times, and nothing.
I did hear you once, and I thought I was going crazy because you were only like a 5.5. So I sent back to you and got no answer back. So I was like, yeah, I was going crazy. So.
Yeah, I did. No, it was actually me, but no contact. I'll email you next February wondering why I'm not in your logs.
that was the end of that one, I guess. So,
Other
any
than that, the bands have been. I haven't done much radio during the middays, so I don't know. But in the evening times, I know they have been really good. This morning they were great. But just doing more antenna work here at the house. So I got a little bit more wire in the air, so that is always good.
I'm your huckleberry.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good weekend. Mom's been here for about a week, and I've been spending a lot of time with her. And
Good
trying,
food.
but between trying to spend time with mom and do POTA and get all the PZN people, and do Lewis and Clark for the club, and then I didn't figure that was enough, so I just had to drop the spikes in the same week and get all that stuff. So yeah, it's been
I
it's
just
been
got
a
called.
it's been a rough time.
I just got called out by the Spike Man. Said it must not have been too good. You didn't hunt me, which is true. I didn't, and I didn't even see him for some reason, and he let me know that he activated this morning.
But he's
But
trying a new kind of QRP now. Not only does he don't want people to hear him, he don't want people to see him either, so he don't even spot.
oh, so it's kind of like a camouflage RP.
He just he don't even hook his antenna up anymore. He just talks into the microphone like, man, nobody hears me.
Hey, it's the PP, man. You don't need an antenna. All you need is a paper clip coming out of the dang center port of your BNC, right? That should work great. Yeah.
Funny stuff, I'll tell you what.
I'm your huckleberry.
I did listen for you though. I did see a spot, and I listened for a little bit, and I didn't. Was it you or Terry? One of them. I don't remember. I saw a spot today, and I listened for a while. It was on 40 meters, and then I said there was actually another QSO on the frequency. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what all you can see, James. Device disconnected. Apparently, he rebooted. Terry, thank you much. Member for 18 months. That is so awesome. Maybe James will be back. Who knows? If not, it's just you and me, baby. Looking forward to Huntsville. That is for sure. Oh, I just put on the A-Track calendar, by the way, because James reminded me. 13 Colonies events coming up July 1st to the 7th, I believe. That's always a really good event to get on the 13 Colonies. So I just put that on there. And we got Field Day coming up on June 22nd. Mike says, I imagine you did. So, how many did you end up with, Mike? Be curious to know. Because I mean, lately you've been doing pretty good on your activations when it seems like everybody else is having a lot of trouble. $34. That's not bad. That's not bad for PP. You're running what? 5 watts. I tried to get you on your 1 watt when you spotted the other day and said you were doing a 1 watt activation. I tried to work you, but didn't hear you. Sorry. I tried. Yeah, James is having some technical difficulties. West Virginia. Apparently his house is full of poltergeists. You got 21 on 1 watt? Wow. That is good. That is good. What's the next thing I just mentioned? The next big Hamfest is going to be Huntsville, I believe, coming up in August. If you're looking for a room, you might want to get on that now. I don't think there's any more campsites or cabins available, but check and see. Not sure. Oh, ta-ta, heading to the park to meet with Jason. Awesome, buddy. Those 5 CW you got, were they as an activator or did you just hunt CW, Mike? Because I think you told me that your first CW activation was going to be with somebody special. So I doubt you actually did a activation, although that'd be pretty cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once you rip that Band-Aid off and do your first CW activation, you'll fall in love with it. I do believe. And then you'll be hooked like the rest of us, and then you won't even bring your microphone to activations anymore. I actually drove out. I don't know if Whiskey One Radio Charlie Pompous in the chat, but I got a story to tell for him. I drove out yesterday to the park. If anybody's been around these streams for a while, you know the story. But I got stuck in my truck at a certain park, hard to get to park, and a rarely activated park. And Whiskey One Radio Charlie Papa Robbie had to come pull me out. So I decided to go back down there yesterday, but I was smart and I parked back out where the boat ramp area was, and I threw on my Gigaparks Explorer bag and I hiked up to the activation point. And I hiked all the way there, and the whole time there, just eaten alive by mosquitoes the size of pterodactyls. It was absolutely brutal. So I get up to the activation point after it's not far, maybe a 10-minute, hike. And I get up to where I'm inside the park boundaries. And I put my bag down and I stand there for a minute. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to stand here and see how bad these mosquitoes are before I dedicate myself to running CW. And I might have to be out here for another, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So I'm just standing there and the mosquitoes just swarmed around me like crazy. So needless to say, I said, nah, I don't want to put up with this. And I hiked back down. So I hiked all the way up. And then I hiked all the way back down just to not even do an activation. But next time we'll get it done again. But that was my story for the weekend. But had fun enjoying the hike anyway. I didn't get the activation in, but I had fun enjoying the hike. Welcome back, James.
Hey, what's going on?
We were just talking about my weekend and how I hiked all the way I say all the way, but I hiked up to a POTA park, the same one I got stuck in that Robbie had to pull me out of. I hiked up there this weekend just to see how bad it was, and with all the rain we've been getting, the mosquitoes the size of pterodactyls were just tearing me up. So I get up to the top, and I put my bag down with my KX2 and everything, and I said, I'm going to stand here for a minute and see how bad these mosquitoes are before I commit myself to the next 30 to 45 minutes up here running CW. And right when I put my bag down, 5 minutes later, the mosquitoes are just... You could not tell that I had white skin. Put it that way. They were so thick. It was ridiculous. So I said, nah, that's fine.
Living down in Florida, living down so close to Florida, you probably get some of them migratory, pterodactyl mosquitoes
No
in
kidding.
Florida. And I happen to know that you have the perfect tool to take care of that.
I do, but I didn't have it with me.
The Atrag PP man spike can also double as a mosquito shank. So
I never thought about it that way, actually.
And if you were one of the people who ordered the Atrag PP man spike, thank you very much. And a lot of those will be going out tomorrow morning, and then the second batch will be going out tomorrow afternoon as well. Hopefully, we'll have everybody's out tomorrow.
The printer minions are working hard.
Although all the printing is done, I just had to make a few extra guy rings. I did not expect to sell so many of the guy ring package, but for an extra $2, everybody's saying, yeah, let's do that.
That's how they are here, Larry. The mosquitoes in Michigan can carry away a large man with his Bud Light. The ones down here don't play, brother. They are, especially, all right, so where this park was, it's right next to the river. And the trails going in and out are muddy. They hold water. It's just a natural, perfect breeding ground for these blood-sucking pterodactyls, right? And they were thick. They were thick.
So, Larry, when you say a large man with his Bud Light, do people come up to you and say, well, how big a girl are you?
Frank, good to see you, buddy. KG6NLW in the house.
So, it's been a good week. Other than the fact that
They're
guys,
pretty big, Toby. They're about the same size because here in Florida is basically, I mean, it's the same. I mean, I'm basically in North Florida, right? The ones in Florida were huge too.
yeah, the ones in Florida are pretty significantly dominant in most states, to my knowledge. We'll see when I go out west. So maybe the west can produce some. I kind of doubt it.
And see what was weird is I mean, it was breezy. It wasn't a strong breeze, but it was breezy. But the mosquitoes were still around, and it was breezy enough where I thought that even if I would have brought my thermocell up there with me, it might have not done much good because of the breeze. Because the thermocell kind of makes a cone of protection around you, and I imagine the breeze blowing that chemical or whatever it releases away wouldn't help much. I enjoyed the hike. I enjoyed getting out in nature, doing the hike up there anyway, even though I didn't get an activation done.
You realize that you just made a mistake, right?
What's that?
You said that the thermocell kind of makes a cone around you. Now, when you're activating in Huntsville, and Terry sees that you have your thermocell out there activating, he's going to be walking around you the whole time, licking the air, trying to get a taste of the cone.
It's not a waffle cone.
His favorite color is blue.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, he actually was spotted kind of late in the evening for him. I mean, it should have been past his bedtime last night.
Yeah, it was. It was
when he was spotted. But I'm going to give everybody out there hunting the Lewis and Clark pointers. If you're missing a state and you don't see them spotted on the upcoming activations, I'll give you a little hint. A lot of these guys are volunteers, and they don't know exactly when they're going to be able to do their Lewis and Clark time. They do it when they have their time to do it. So you could take that club call and put it in your ham alerts, and it'll go off because most people schedule for at least 30 minutes to an hour at a time.
That's right.
So you'll have 30 minutes to an hour when your ham alerts goes off to go get that station. Instead of just like, well, they're not spotted on the Lewis and Clark upcoming activations. Well, maybe I don't know when I'm activating next Friday. I'm sorry.
Here's a man. I don't know why we're talking about radio on Shenanigans. This is kind of weird. Frank says, "Good to be here. Working POTA DX today. German Ham is in Utah, working US 0009. I got Barbados and Wales. A DX announcement, guys. Check this out. 5 kilo Oscar Lima Romeo. 5 kilo Oscar Lima Romeo is going to be from June 7 to June. Excuse me, Junio. Whatever that is, July, Junio. But anyway, at Charlie Oscar 0150, Charlie Oscar 0150 in Gorgona Island. So they were on the other night, and I got them.
Good deal.
Gorgona Island is down South America off the coast of. Don't make me make stuff up on live stream. Gorgona. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly.
And speaking of announcements, anybody wanting a 10% discount on an antenna, there's a Father's Day coupon at Kilo Oscar 4 Fox Sierra Zulu antennas.
There you
Dad's
go.
Day 2024. Dad's Day 24. All cap letters. 10% off.
That's right. Gorgona Island is right to the west of Colombia and a little bit north of Ecuador, off of the west coast of South America. And they were sounding good the other night, so that's good.
Speaking of foreign activations, I noticed a lot of foreign stations working the kingdom capital today, and I have not been in the throne room because I've been busy, but I'm going to go check and see if there's permits been issued.
I think Clarice said she signed some on your behalf. You might. I mean, hey, don't kill the messenger. You just might want to talk to her about it. Okay.
Yeah, Terry is running a coupon code at his Etsy shop where he sells used underwear, and the code is Clarice24.
That's right.
Oh,
I need to get a certain somebody who makes antennas that I know to make me a legal limit tactical.
a legal limit that. Come on.
That was a joke. That was a joke. Don't go make one.
No, wait a minute. He wants a legal limit tactical, and PP man, I'm going to need you to help me redesign the spike
Yeah.
to hold up the legal limit tactical wire.
That spike is going to have to be about 3 feet long.
I will tell you something really cool yesterday, even though I was having some radio issues. My last call yesterday in 1940 was a park to park from 1940, and I got to ride right down the road and hang out a little bit with Patreon Whiskey Victor 8 Romeo Tango while he was
Nice.
activating there, and then he came today and picked up Ronnie's spikes for him. So good to see him this weekend.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Heck
But
yes.
I'm your Huckleberry.
The growth West Virginia has had in POTA since I've started is like so crazy. And we were talking about it this weekend because I've tried to do this for years. I've tried to do a West Virginia POTA meetup, and nobody will ever agree on something. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just deciding a date. I'm deciding a park, and I'm doing it. If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. It'll be posted on the West Virginia POTA page on Facebook. But that's just it. Either you come or you don't. I'll be there.
There you go.
Harry will be there because if he's not, I will use the PP shank on him.
Well, Terry has to be there. He's the jester.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I've been good to Terry because you know Terry is the official mailman of the King.
That's
By
true.
the way, Terry, Kilo Charlie 1 Quebec needs stickers in the mail. But he is the postmaster for the King, and I just want to say that he didn't have to send out none of this initial order.
Yeah.
To come in all at one time. But after I wrap it up, I have let him know that he will be taking over as the official order.
There you go. See, this is what I like about Shenanigan. Speaking shall ye receive. I said we needed a bigger spike to handle the legal limit tactical.
Did he post this picture?
So I just got a text message from a certain somebody. It said I'm working on it. It's a big ass nail. that thing's probably, I don't know, 8 inches long.
I think I know who's working on that.
Yeah. No, I don't need a limit. No, my next thing I'm going to have to get from you, Chris, is a legal limit 10 through 40. Because I got the 10 through 80. So either that or I have to find a way to finagle the 10 through 80 into the space that I have now. I might have to do like an L or something like that.
The things that we come up
with. Oh yeah.
That we just absolutely think we
need. Yeah, I need a legal limit 10 through 160. I make it 6 through 160. Legal limit, but it has to be able to be supported by the gigaparts mast, and it can be no longer than 15 feet. Make it happen.
All right.
There'll be a loading coil this damn big on it somewhere.
Pete, it definitely will not be at Cooper's Rock. I'm actually thinking of making a weekend of it and doing it at Tiger Lake because there's several other parks that people could go get around that area, and there's plenty of camping at Tiger. So that's what I'm thinking right now. But this is just thoughts from today.
Larry said a C shape for an antenna works well. I've never tried that. I've done L's. I've done inverted L's. I've done V's. I've done inverted V's. I've done slopers, both with the transformer on the far end and on the ground end. I've never done a C. I'm going to have to try that. What really be cool is like a sky loop.
I like an inverted figure 8.
There you go. There you go.
That makes a really good.
I like the inverted decahedrons.
Speaking of weird antennas for people to hunt you with, Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Alpha Reese Cup hunted me on a ground loop the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'll be a cool thing to have. Make like just a sky loop. Just a big old loop. See what happens. Yeah, Reese Cup has that 47 miles of damn wire in his backyard, though. I mean, it must go on for 300 acres. He can hear a deer. I mean, he can hear a deer. He can hear a tick jump on a deer over in Oregon. It's crazy. Is it Oregon or Oregon? Is there anybody from around those parts?
I'm going to throw out bets that people in Oregon would argue over it. I bet some people call it Oregon and some people call it Oregon.
Just like some people in Missouri call it Missouri and some call it Missouri.
Right.
I would think the original Mike Oscar OGs call it Missouri.
But that's just why the capital is the place to live, because there's only one way to say West by God.
That's right. Frank says it's Oregon. Oregon.
It's like there's only one way to say that you live in eastern West Virginia. I hear that eastern West Virginia is for lovers.
Yeah, you're right. It's the same way for Toronto and Toronto. It's kind of like New Orleans and New Orleans. It's really New Orleans, not New Orleans. It's New Orleans.
There's two ways to say a lot of cities in West Virginia. There's the way you say them and the way every other state in the union says them.
Kind of like Kanawha.
Dan thinks that he hunts Kanawha State Forest all the time.
I just said it kind of like Kanawha. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And other people would say they stop in Hurricane, but it's Hurricane.
Hurricane. Yeah. Well, like here we have Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar would be familiar with this. We have a Houston County, Georgia, Houston. Spelled the same thing as Houston, but it's Houston County, Georgia. Houston, Texas. Spelled the same, but not the same.
So I'm curious. We're going to talk a little bit more radio on Shenanigans. We're going to break the record.
Oh
today.
no! Oh, here we go.
So I know probably there's a lot of people out in the chat that use Veto Mount because they're awesome. But if you happen to use the Veto Mount where you're using it for the 891 and another Yaesu 2 meter or something like that, it could be a 300 to 500, whatever. Where are you guys putting your bodies? Are you just putting them under the seat? Are you? What I'm really wanting to see is I'm wanting to see if somebody's got a box somewhere that they've built with, housing their radios. Because what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to house my radios, and I'm wanting to also house biolino batteries because I don't want to run off of the car battery. I want to run biolinos at all times. So I'm looking to build some sort of box to hold the 891 body, the 500 body, 2 biolinos. and I'm curious if anybody's got anything like that going on that would like to share some pictures, give me some ideas.
So you use Lido?
Yes.
How do you have it mounted to your seat bolt or a cup holder or what?
Mine's a couple.
Is it stable? Does
Mhm.
it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's got you just keep tightening it until you make it stable.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I have mine. Not in a box per se, but my 891's mounted underneath my back seat in the truck because my back seats flip up and you got a whole bunch of storage area underneath them. I run mine off of the truck battery though, so I don't have dedicated batteries. How are you planning on charging your Bioenos when they're in the truck? Were you going to get a Victron charge controller or just rely on the BNC?
Well, that's the good thing about the box. I can just slide the box back, grab the batteries, and take it in and charge. Or
Oh, you're gonna, okay. I see what you're doing. Okay.
I can charge them while driving as well with the chargers that I have.
Yeah. Let's see what you're doing.
I also
Ugh.
have solar if I'm somewhere for the weekend.
Yeah, I just got mine bolted to the floor of the truck.
I thought about running it through the battery, but those long activations, I don't want to get in the parking and to go to start the vehicle and it be dead too. So
I have mine in such a way where I have a hot lead with Anderson power poles on it coming straight from the battery.
Mhm.
So I can power my radio directly off my truck battery, or I can also I have wires back there where I can hook up my battery box and power my radio off the battery box instead.
now I did think of something like that too. Maybe making a hot lead off the vehicle
Just
to
do like an
run it
AB switch or something.
when I'm driving,
Hmm.
and then if I'm not going to be driving, hook it, just pull the power pole, connect it to the other power pole that goes to the battery.
Yeah, and I got a Victron charge controller in my truck too, so I can actually hook that up to my truck battery, and then out of that I go to my battery box. So as my truck's turned on and I'm driving down the road, it's actually charging my battery box, which helped tremendously on my big rove last year up the states, up the East Coast. Not this one. The Victron stuff, Josh, is very RF quiet. I haven't noticed anything about it. But yeah, some of the charge controllers are very noisy. That's for sure. They're not cheap. I mean, it's not the cheapest charge controller in the world. The Victron stuff you'll pay decent money for, but they're rock solid.
Well, not only that, when I said I could charge them driving, uh, that would be charging like the HF.
Yeah.
The 2 meter, like I can throw like a 15 amp hour in there and run it forever. And
Yeah.
even beaconing APRS, like I'll bring it in every couple of days or something and go to put it on charge, and like 2 minutes later it's green.
Yep.
So it's using like next to nothing.
Yeah, vehicle installs are really good, and that's what really. I mean, I'd like to have a new vehicle. Don't get me wrong. My truck's creeping up on 200,000 miles. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever, so I'm not looking for anything new because I still love my truck. Still drives like the day I drove it off the lot. It's still perfect. But what gets me about ever getting a new vehicle, because I know eventually I'm gonna have to. Not looking forward to it, but all that stuff's gonna have to be redone again. All those wires are gonna have to be redone, and you're like, oh no.
You know what I would do, Dan? I'd just stop putting it off. Buy the new vehicle now. Send your truck to the king.
There you go.
That way he don't even have to worry about a vehicle install. Then be done with it.
It'll be all there. Yeah. Don't even take the radios out of it. Just send it to you just like it is. Right?
So once again, Terry's on mushrooms. He saw orbs behind me.
Well, it's Sunday. The Sunday shrooms.
It's I don't know. It's fun to play with. I wanted the seatbelt mount, but the problem is most of the time in that car, I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm a big old boy. I don't think that would work well for me.
Yeah, the reason why I asked how the stability of it is I've never tried a Lido. But my other ones that I have that mount to the seatbelt, they're not very stable on the top of them. They're wobbly. You know what I mean?
Oh, the seatbelt thing is wobbly.
No, like the pole that comes off the seatbelt, like here's your seatbelt, and you got a pole that goes up.
Right.
And let's just say this is 3 feet long.
Yeah, it's wobbly. I can see that being wobbly.
Yeah, on the top of it, it's just wobbly. Like if you go to push a button on your head, the whole thing pushes back. You know what I mean?
Oh no, it is. Matter of fact, I pulled it out of the truck a little bit, the car a little bit ago because I noticed that the microphone screws were.
Don't move too far; your camera might stop working.
All right, so
Yeah.
get that radio down a little bit for you.
And that cup holder mount on the bottom there holds it.
Mount on the bottom.
So it kind of expands out and fills the cup holder.
Yeah, you just start turning this, like I can feel it going in right now.
I got you. Okay.
And it's got loosen this a little bit before I can move it.
Yeah, but you lose your cup holders, don't you?
So down here below is where the other radio goes. Up here, you got two microphones.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Doesn't show very good.
Do you have one or two cup holders in your car?
Two.
Do you put that in the one closest towards the engine or the one closest towards the?
Well, because the car is sort of small in that area, I put it closest to the engine.
Okay. And you still have use of the front one?
Basically, you give up your cup holders.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was curious about. Yeah. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Alpha Echo 4 X-ray Oscar just jumped in here and goes, I have 3 cup holders. Well, damn. Yeah, see, if I put that in my front 2 cup holders, no matter which one I use, I think it would cover up the other cup holder.
It does cover up the other cup.
Yeah. I mean, where am I going to put my beer when I'm driving down the road?
In your door.
Good point. Good point. In your mouth. Put it in your mouth.
It's beer's just one drink anyway, Dan.
No, that's true. That's true.
3 cup holders. What are you driving that has 3 cup holders?
I'm telling you. That's the X-ray Oscar deal.
He's got a big wide console in his center, I bet you.
You know, like everybody's cup holders are like, so if you're sitting in the driver's seat, your cup holders go this way. You got one, and then you got another one in line with it that way. His are probably in line the other way. He probably has 3
across.
Yeah, yeah. Tell
So
you what,
who's the third cup holder for?
Clarice, just in case she ever takes a trip to Middle Georgia. Oh, that's great. Oh my goodness. Well, you got to have a cup holder for your cup, and then your passenger will have a cup holder for their cup. The middle cup holder can be used for shared Reese cups.
I mean, now technically, if he has 3, he could have a cup holder for his and a cup holder for passenger. The center, he could probably, because he's got an extra wide console. I can just picture this. The center, he could put that mount and turn it toward either the driver's side or toward the passenger side, whoever was going to be on the radio.
Kind of blade it off, yeah. Yeah.
And, run it long ways instead of sideways, and it would probably fit right there.
There you go. I always thought it would be cool to have all my radios mounted up on the head liner console, which I could do with my 891. Is it just Just a matter of running the cable up there.
Yeah.
I kind of like where mine is too. It's right there next to my right hand as I'm driving down the road, and it's not in the way.
With enough modification, you can mount them things anywhere you want to.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can mount it on your steering wheel.
Don't tempt me. The only problem with, I've actually looked into doing stuff like this. The only problem with mounting things on your steering wheel that require a wire is you have to go through the steering wheel. It's a spring, I forget the exact name of it, but it's a wind of ribbon cable that makes all of your buttons on the steering wheel work, but you can still turn the steering wheel and not break wires and not have wires in the way. You know what I'm talking about?
Now,
So you have to have some way to bring that through the steering wheel.
I'm from West Virginia.
You just mount it on there.
We have redneckery that you've never seen.
That's right.
With some duct tape and a hammer, I can mount you what you want on your steering wheel and never go on the internal of that steering wheel.
Absolutely. And you'll know when you're about to turn left and lock it hard over because the wire gets tight.
Yeah. If you go to where the wire gets too tight, you're turning too hard.
Oh, that's great. But no, years ago I actually did research putting a button on the steering wheel. I forget what it was for. Maybe my auxiliary lights up front, and I ran into that whole problem about getting a wire through there without it wrapping around the steering wheel and crap like that. Yeah, the clock spring. Yeah, thanks, Kent. That's exactly what it is. You have to. You can get clock springs with additional empty things on the ribbon cable and use it like that, but it's just a pain in the butt.
Oh no! I'm gonna mount the head of your radio on the top half of your steering wheel. So
there you go.
If you're driving 10 and 2 like you're supposed to be, that radio's gonna be right in between your hands.
I like this idea. Yeah. I like this idea. Yeah. But what happens if you got to turn really hard and the radio hits your thighs, and then you can't turn the steering wheel anymore? You're kind of stuck right there, and then you get in a wreck.
Do you have manual power steering in your car?
No.
That old.
You ever driven a car with no power steering?
Yes.
That ain't no fun. I've driven a standard with no power steering once. That definitely ain't no fun.
Have you ever did a 3-speed on the column?
No, I have never driven a 3-speed on the column.
If you can drive a 3-speed on the column, you can drive anything you want.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah.
You have to be very smooth to drive a 3-speed on the column because they will jump links on you if you're not smooth.
Yeah.
And then no matter where you're at, whether you're at a stoplight or you're on a 4-lane, you got to get out right there, pop the hood, and get out there and jerk the link back in place.
Oh, Pete, now. Okay, he got me. See, check this out. If I could wire that clock spring, I could have the up and down buttons on the steering wheel controls control my damn VFO.
There we go.
Dude, you're talking now. You are talking. Yes, sir, Terry. 3 on a tree.
Back and down is first. Up and forward is second. Straight down is third. Back and up is reverse.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've driven a car. It was just a column shift that had the high beams on your left foot.
Oh, the little knob.
Yeah, buddy.
You're showing your age, Dan. You're showing your
there
age.
You go. That was some fun stuff right there.
Most of the people in this chat ain't never seen one of those little knobs.
Right.
Well, what's that?
Well, most people in this chat ain't seen thing 3 on the tree either.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was my first vehicle. My dad said, "If you can drive this, you can drive anything."
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: I received that vehicle on a Wednesday.
You wrecked it on a Thursday.
On a Wednesday. On Friday, I left North Carolina to drive to Hampton, Virginia for a bike race. So I had to practice really quick.
That's a good point, PP, man. Don't mount your radio to the steering wheel center, because if your airbag goes off, you might have Yazoo imprinted in your forehead for the rest of your life.
Really? I'll be right back.
Hold my beer.
I'm going to crash the car.
Hold my beer. Yeah, but you're gonna have to flip the logo on your radio around somehow. That way, when it impacts you, it's the right way so people can read it. Yeah,
I could mount the radio upside down and just stand on my head all the time.
good point. That's right. Yeah, what high beams on the floor? Now that's so you could turn, if you still had a high beam on the floor ride, you can turn that into a floor mount. Push the talk switch.
It's kind of what it reminds me of, because I've drove with the high beam on the floor before.
Yeah.
That actually the three on the column had high beam in the floor.
Absolutely. Oh, I'd imagine it would. I don't think you can find a 3 on the column without high beam on the floor, to be honest with you.
That truck was purchased for $500. I drove it a couple of 100,000 miles. Then I used it for a wheelbarrow forever.
Yeah.
Because we built bike tracks all the time. And then I finally sold it for $300. And it still ran just fine. 78 GMC Sierra.
Old good old days where $500 actually got you something good.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays you can't buy much for $500, can you?
You can't go to McDonald's for $500.
Pretty much, but you can get a lot of QSOs there.
Yeah, I heard it's a $6
So let me get a 6 count.
Can I get a 6-piece QSO?
Oh my God. I'm so glad they made that a 6 for. I'm so glad, because now we can get a 6-piece QSO. Oh my God. We're horrible.
I bet if you pulled up to a McDonald's in the DC area and said you want a 6-piece QSO, they wouldn't even think twice about it. They'll be like, you want fries with that, Mr. Fish?
63 Chevy truck came from the factory without seatbelts. That's correct. Seatbelts weren't mandated until 70 something, I believe. Yeah, I used to know the exact year, but I don't anymore.
That explains a lot. DP Man used to ride around with no seatbelts, and he's banged his head a lot. That's why he does QRP.
His parents used to brake check him. You had to put him in line. Yeah.
I bet you a lot of these people in the chat right now has never rode down the 4-lane in the back of a pickup truck on a weekly basis.
I have. I've ridden in the back of a pickup truck going down the interstate.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell nobody, but yeah. Yes, sir.
But back then, nobody said nothing.
Or riding in the back of a pickup truck when you're going through the mud bog, you'll get covered. Yeah, Terry, 1976, I believe, was the seatbelts. Yeah, it was something around there.
All the way to Myrtle Beach. That's right. You never know what you're going to hear on Shenanigans. The topics that we get started.
All right, so we got about five minutes and change left. Mike has a question. PP Man, who in the chat knows what a package deck is in a car? A package deck.
That is DECK for those of you who may have misheard him.
Yes, deck. Yes, as in something you would walk upon.
And while we're waiting for the chat, Dan, what do you got coming up?
Man, not a whole lot. Do a little more antenna work and fine tuning, and find time when it's not 4,000 degrees out so I can get in my attic and run some cable. It's been rough here, dude. It's kind of like you go outside to work, and by the time it gets 9 in the morning, you don't want to do any more because it's too damn hot. And right now, it starts to cool off a little bit, and you do a little bit of work. But it's just been rough.
Good deal. For myself, I'm probably going to leave here and head out and do some activation. That sounds like something fun to do. And then this week, I'm going to try to get everything caught back up because it's been a hectic couple of weeks. I got 1 week left of the Lewis and Clark. You got here's a tip. Here's a POTA tip for you guys. If you put Whiskey 8 Lima Oscar Golf in your ham alerts, even if it's not spotted in POTA, sometimes you may get an extra POTA show up because a lot of times I just go out and do, I don't even spot on POTA. I just go out and do straight Lewis and Clark trail. But once I hit over 10 contacts, I'm like, yep, I'm turning it into POTA for Whiskey 8 Lima Oscar Golf. So I know Josh has got a couple extra this week hunting. And that's your POTA tip.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm gonna finish up the Lewis and Clark this week, get the rest of these orders out, and I'm gonna activate and drop a bunch of videos because that's pretty much all I ever do.
You gonna activate tomorrow?
I thought about it.
Yeah.
It's crossed my mind.
I think you'll do it.
You think I'll do it?
Yeah, it's just that's something, some kind of nagging feeling I have that says you'll probably do it. Yeah.
There's a very good chance. At one point during this week, I'm going to straighten up this shack too, because I'll tell you, this week is I would be ashamed for y'all to see what's underneath here right now.
Well, wait a minute. All right, so if you're a Patreon member, go into the Patreon chat right now. I did post a picture of mine to show you what the back stream of an A-Track stream looks like. I challenge James directly after this stream to take a picture of what's going on.
I just turned my volume down on my phone, so I don't think you're going to hear I'm your Huckleberry on that one. I can tell you there's a plethora of spikes laying around on my desk. There's action cameras and batteries laying everywhere. There's a tripod. There's a couple extra phones, another tripod, a box to a thermal printer, and we're not even going to cover that half of the desk. Although I will say, the crackly microphone is sitting over there. I did bring it back, and I'm going to look for a cord. We're going to try to fix that microphone and see if we can get a little bit better audio. We might even have a camera that works to full screen next time.
Hey, there you go.
Anyway, I'm sure Frank or Charlie's getting ready to stream, so you guys have fun watching them, and get ready to hunt me. 73, everybody.
See you guys.